Let's fucking go. We about to go big. Kill him with the PrizePicks. Let's fucking go. We going out blazing.
Let's get honey.
This is Propulation. About to go big. Kill him with the PrizePicks. About to go big. Kill him with the PrizePicks. 24/7 researching, it's all a fantasy. But if I make the right plays, it pays automatic. Bankroll showing that I know it, dope strategy. On a winning streak, I'm stacking a dose and the bookies all get mad at me. Confident with how it plays, not clicking on a flex today. All I see is green and we all about to get paid. Arrogant Josh on the stream, they be killing it. Never gonna stop it, I like if you feeling it. Picking the players, they all never time. You can't make up your mind and just go with your gut. Looked around, we found a glitch. No toast allowed, just supposed to live. Sophia's fine, sat to his stick, and Caitlin Clark just doesn't miss. Win, lose, or draw, we never quit. When we shoot the ball, it's another switch. Submit the link, it'll make you rich, and we going big. Don't be a bitch. Let's fucking go. We about to go big. Kill him with the PrizePicks. Let's fucking go. We going out blazing. This is Propulation. About to go big. Kill him with the PrizePicks. About to go big. Kill him with the PrizePicks. We about to go big.
This is the game.
We going out blazing.
Let's get honey.
This is Propulation. About to go big. Kill him with the PrizePicks. About to go big. Kill him with the PrizePicks.
Yo, yo.
What's good, everyone?
What up?
What's going on? Welcome back, Propulation YouTube. It is Monday. Was it May 20th? Coming at you with a nice two-game slate. Being hosted with always underrated here. How you doing, man?
Doing pretty good, man. Doing pretty good. Can't complain. Good weekend. Won some money and right back here on Monday to win some more.
Love to hear it. Yeah, the weekend was definitely pretty fun. You know, we had a plethora of sports. I know you were pretty excited about Tyson Fury fight for UFC. So it was good times. Hopefully everyone got some good winnings and
Poor Tyson.
not too many heartbreaks.
You seen Tyson Fury get bumped around? Did you catch the highlights?
I did, man. His last two, or counting that fight, his last two fights have been, man, it might be time to pack it up.
Oh boy, they're going to rematch. We'll see what happens. He might get it done.
Yeah. Hopefully. He just kind of was looking lost there for a little bit. Like he's just off his game right now. So you never know. I mean, we got a couple months left for the Tyson and Jake Paul fight too. So there's a lot of interesting stuff going on in the world.
Yeah, for sure. But you know what we're here today to talk about?
We're
the
here for
W.
the ladies.
Yeah.
That's right, the W. Well, if you got anything else, well, I guess we'll hop into it.
Yeah, man. I just, the Caitlin Clark experience is in full motion right now. We'll see what she can do today. And I remember last stream, I was like, oh, she might score 40 or she might score 5. And she scored more closer to 5.
Yeah.
But we'll see.
It's going to be fun. Well, I guess with that being said, let's hop into it.
Mm-hmm.
So first up, we have a rematch here between Connecticut and Indiana. This time it's going to be at Indiana. This was, I believe, the season opener for these two teams. So injury-wise, we have one notable one. Rachel Banham, she's going to be out for Connecticut. So I'd probably expect to see a little bit more Tiff Mitchell off the bench here. She's, a pretty minor role here. Most of the starters are playing fairly heavy minutes. And we'll get to that here in just a second, actually. But let's see. Let's take a look at the team metrics here. Connecticut. Oh, that pace is back to where I kind of expected it to be. So recent games now, we got a little bit of data under the belt. You can see that Connecticut's playing the slowest in the league. They are number 12. And even though they are playing very slow, I mean, their offense is still very efficient. They are number 4 on offense and number 7 overall in defense. A lot of the things, not really that big of a surprise. Like their free throw metrics right now, it's going to be a little bit inflated because they played Indiana already. And, I mean, they're just giving up a million free throws. So keep an eye on that moving forward. But I mean, we do know that AT will go to the line a ton, and we've already seen Bonner and Carrington, both great slashing guards and forwards. So I'd expect all these guys all these individuals to keep just getting to the free throw line a bunch when they can. But this side of things, Connecticut kind of slow, and then we flip over, go back to Indiana, and they're right there. So this is something this coach has to address. We talked about this at the beginning of the season too. Indiana stated last year that they wanted to be one of the fastest teams in the league, and it just did not translate whatsoever on paper. And we've already seen it right here. Now they're back in 11th place. So this game is going to be a slogger. Two of the slowest teams in the league playing here. And out of curiosity, let's see what that game total is. 163.5.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a little high. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah, that feels about normal. And you think it's going to be slow? Might want to jump on that under, eh?
I'm thinking so, honestly. Last time we were talking about Connecticut, they were playing Washington, and they actually ended up covering that. They went over the game total, but it was a total fluke. Connecticut, they put up 32 points in just the fourth quarter. So total anomaly. I mean, it was more points in the fourth quarter they scored this last game than they did in almost any of the other three quarters combined between the two. So it was definitely an outlier. And I got to expect, these turnaround games, the teams always play the matchups a little differently. And we could see more defense here. I think that they try to battle down with the bigs a little bit more. They're not going to force the ball to Clark like they did the first game, that season opener. That's not going to happen. So ball spread out a little bit more. They're going to work the offense a little bit more. And I mean, honestly, I'm going to take a stab at this. I think this is probably pretty solid for like a half unit. Leave that, do that with what you may.
Right.
What's your thoughts about it?
Well, actually, I wanted to bring up the fact Big Two said AT's not on the board anymore, which is interesting. And then I went and looked at PrizePicks, and sure enough, there's no AT. I have no idea why, but it's cool. We're live here, so we can try to figure that out. So AT's off the board, and then Quinn said the WNBA is doing Caitlin no favors with her first 4 games being against Connecticut and New York, which is very true. We were talking about that before. She's just thrown in the fire.
Yeah, her first 5 games of the season were going to be extremely brutal. They were all going to be top 5. Top 4 matchups, and as annoying as they are, these turnaround games, I wish we didn't get them so early in the season, but again, that's just a product of the schedule this year. So they have Connecticut again and New York twice. So I mean, two phenomenal postseason teams against a brand new squad.
What's kind of cool about that though is she's gonna start out with the hardest teams and then get on in some of these games with these softer teams. Woo-wee. We might see some of those 30-point games that we were talking about. It could happen, bro. I mean, I think they'll figure out a way.
It's gonna happen.
It's gonna
happen. Yeah, there is. We're just waiting at this point, And here, let's just, out of curiosity, while we're looking at it, we can take a look and see when's her next reasonable matchup. Which I'm sure. Oh, here we go. Right here. Bang.
Yep.
Against Seattle.
That pace too,
This
huh?
is the get right game.
Yeah. And hey, maybe she'll surprise us and do half decent today. They will have Mitchell starting today, right? So that will take a little pressure off her.
Yeah. Mitchell should start again. She did this last game. I don't really know. I can't figure this coach out right now. She seems really split on how she wants to work Caitlin Clark into the offense. Because this last game, I think this last game is going to be a little bit more telling of what the team actually looks like. Kelsey Mitchell played a real starting role. I mean, she played 31 minutes against New York. Pretty average for her. 18 field goal attempts. I think that's pretty normal for her this year. We're going to expect somewhere between 16 to, on a good day, maybe 20 field goal attempts, but probably 16 to 18, and somewhere around that area. So she is back for sure. And let's take a look at that last game, actually.
I mean, think about that too. The first game they had Wheeler. I mean, Kelsey Mitchell instead of Wheeler. That's such a big difference. So they're going to have to worry a little bit more. She might be able to do something here, Caitlin. Both of them. Maybe the team will do a little better at home too. Connecticut is scary, but it'll be an interesting game.
I think so as well, man. Honestly, this really bodes well for Clark overall because was I fading out there?
Oh no, that's me. I just took you out of there to look at the screen. Don't worry about that.
Oh,
I got you.
Gotcha. Yeah, this last game, I think this is pretty close to what this team should look like. Moving Wheeler to the bench was definitely a great move overall because the coach was not using her in the offense at all to set up correctly. So not only with Mitchell starting, what that does for a couple of things is it's going to space the floor a lot better. I noticed that whenever they were running the pick and roll with Boston, they would typically split the opposite side of the floor and space, accordingly. So we should see basically kind of the yin and the yang coming together here, and hopefully this offense actually gel for the first time. This last game was just the first time we've seen it, so let's take one game, have a couple of sessions of practice underneath the belt now, and hopefully this coach still continues with a good game plan to draw up some open looks for Clark, because she's gonna have Carrington on her the whole game. I think they're pretty well dedicated to that, and Vandersloot was able to handle Mitchell pretty well. So I mean, I would expect the same matchups there, honestly. And Laney too. Actually, they switched that up because that was kind of a wrench in the plan. They swapped over Laney actually to stick on one of the guards, so she was at times covering Clark. This last game, I know I'm talking about New York here, but one of the strategies they used was just making sure to switch off and trap the guards really well. So as long as I think today Connecticut, they continue that same game plan, being able to switch off with Bonner, with Carrington, and Alyssa Thomas, she's been actually going out to the perimeter too to make a huge impact defensively. So this rematch is going to be pretty interesting, I got to say. We'll take a look at PrizePicks here real quick. I was trying to figure out what was going on with AT. I know you brought her up and being removed, and I have no idea. I don't see any.
Yeah, Big Two also threw up there that she's still on Underdog though, so I don't know. What did happen? They threw some NECA news out that she was still a game time decision, and I don't know why that would matter, but that was right around the timing of it. So maybe PrizePicks just a little trigger happy. I don't know.
So my only other thing I could think is, and I'm hoping we got out in front of it, is there is some coach speak about Brianna Jones somewhere. This is the only reason Alyssa Thomas would move.
That makes sense.
Yeah. So her fantasy for Brianna Jones, it actually just moved up right before we went live. She was at 20 flat. She just went up to 20 and a half. I know it's not that big of a difference, but she played 20 minutes this last game, and I'm really hoping she's closer to like 25 minutes today. And man, if she is, she's gonna wreck all these lines. I mean, all this stuff is just way too low. So I don't know, man. We are playing the game because we're gambling on her minutes here, and that's the biggest thing. But she absolutely destroyed Indiana last year. I mean, she wrecked this fantasy, the points, the rebounds in particular. I think for me, this is probably the one that's standing out the most. This last game, she was back into more of a normal role, especially in the first half. She still had 7 rebounds. I know you're going to look at this first game against Indiana and be like, oh, 3 rebounds, that's terrible. But it was her first game of the season. It was her first game back, and they let AT basically play the entire game. But if you take a look at AT's minutes, especially compared to last year, whenever Brianna Jones was on and off the court, they're creeping back up towards Brianna Jones playing more minutes today. And I think AT is going to have some kind of a hard cap. She has not played 40 minutes this season so far. And I think coach is trying to avoid doing that.
Yeah, she was playing so many minutes last season.
So now that we're seeing this game again, I guess was there anything really standing out for you?
No, I mean,
besides AT?
No, it seems like the lines look about right, especially 2 hours before lock, after everyone already picked through what they wanted and all the lines moved. That was one of the things we were talking about earlier, like the plays you had put in the Discord last night, pretty much all of them have already bumped, right? I'm not sure about this game in particular. Yeah, Carrington was the one. That one, whoo-wee, that bumped everywhere. So
Yeah, talking about Carrington real fast, PrizePicks, they opened her up yesterday at 18.5 PRA for the full game. I believe her points were at 15.5 and her rebounds are at 13.5. So I'm not the smartest man, but that math ain't adding up to this. So this was a nice discount that we got in the Discord. I mean, right off the rip. I think this lasted for maybe an hour on the board. I mean, we had it for a solid hour, and then the PRA line was pulled, and they brought it back and adjusted it to pretty much what we thought it was going to be. But I knew this was gone. The rebounds, this ain't ever coming back. This might not even be, we might never get this again.
yeah, and I'm looking at it right now. It's the PRA is 21.5 now, so a 3 PRA difference just from picking it out early is huge. I mean, that's like a personal taco you just made last night,
Yeah, wild discrepancy, and
3?
definitely it was a great find for us.
So that was a good one. Besides that, though, in this game, as far as the way the lines look, I mean, I don't see anything standing out too much.
Yeah, everything's pretty appropriate now, and it kind of sucks. There was a few props that I think stood out. If you want to go out on the limb and think that Brianna Jones is going to play more increased minutes tonight, she's definitely a good look. Either, I think if I had to pick the rebounds and then just straight up fantasy, but Bonner, she's kind of hit or miss sometimes on the road games, but this 25.5 PR feels pretty good. They haven't actually bumped that up. The fantasy and the first half fantasy, they bumped that a couple times, and I believe her points as well. So and the rebounds. So she's been touched up kind of, all over the place. Pause. But
yeah, super pause.
Yeah, super pause. I don't know if we want to be playing all that. All of this is really just kind of bumped now, so it sucks. But I mean, that's PrizePicks for you. I'll tell you one way you can definitely get around that though is by checking out the Discord down below. We're still running that week free trial, and man, we hit a 10x and a couple other just absolute bangers this weekend. So we're already up units on the month. Make sure you guys check it out. You should already have your Discord paid for with that right off the rip. So appreciate you guys stopping by, and making sure you like, subscribe, and follow down below too. Before we go over to Indiana, do you want to hit on a couple comments here?
Yeah, man. There wasn't many. I was asking people for some questions. I don't have no questions. People just want to see what you're thinking about, I guess. We got, you can look through though and shout some people out if you want.
Yeah, who we got? Let's see, Jermaine. Who is Jermaine? I always forget.
That's G-Man. That's G-Man.
G-Man, yeah.
Yeah.
That's right. What's up, G-Man? So we got G-Man, Big Prop. Let's see. Quinn. What's up, Quinn? Big 2. Nice. Glad to have you guys. As always. Hopefully you're, like what you see here, and hopefully you're walking away with some positivity and good notes to take away.
So we can take away some of PrizePicks' billions of dollars they make every year.
Yeah. I will say, for the first time ever, they actually made it right yesterday. We had that Isaiah Hartenstein discount, which was putrid, especially with Hart and OG possibly playing. But they actually DMP'd it, so that was the first time in ever PrizePicks actually made it right. So thank you.
Well, they do that every now and then because they realize how much money they take from people. So that man,
yeah,
these scamming. That's a whole nother video. I hate them.
Yeah.
But you just got to be smart, right? Get in where you fit in, make some money, don't be silly, and let the other people lose their money, because PrizePicks isn't going to lose in the end. But you can win. You got to sneak in and get that money.
Exactly. No donations. That's our biggest thing. No rage bets, no donations. Don't give it back unless absolutely need to. This last week you should have definitely made money because there was protected plays. I think almost the entire week, all the way running, and then at least on Fridays, you still got that. So just be smart with your money. Definitely, if you have options to go to any kind of a books or other betting sites, always check out those options. I know you said, was it Sleeper? They just recently also brought on WNBA.
Yeah, Sleeper. Hot Streak also now has WNBA. I was looking at a little bit. I'm still checking the other ones off and on when I have time, but Chalkboard doesn't have it yet, I don't think. And Parlay Play was always our go-to last year for second half, but they haven't done any live betting yet, so we'll see if that works out, because I always like when we're doing the live betting, and I know Big Two is always smacking it on our Discord with the live betting. When you check the different sites, the discrepancies are so crazy when you do the live betting, so it's always nice to have the different sites in different tabs, and you could just switch over and find the right value. It makes a huge difference.
Actually, yeah, I'm glad you brought that up, because we had that yesterday, and this was one of our great live plays that we got. So this was a big discrepancy that we had. I remember yesterday as well.
Right.
Atkins, I believe she was the same on both the sites, but Ezzy, she was 6.5 right off the rip on PrizePicks for the second half. But I remember Underdog, she was 7.5. So she was real close to just getting that, right there at 7, because she had free throws to go over this at the end. And if she only made one free throw, you would have got it on one side and you would have missed on the other.
Exactly.
Just something to think about,
No, it's yeah. Go ahead, sorry.
Oh, go ahead. I was just gonna say, just real fast. With that too, also having help in the Discord really is able to put all of those options in the forefront. Like, where the good and where the bad is, like what the discrepancy is.
Right. Exactly. It's huge, man. I mean, if you don't have all the sites in whatever state you're in, if you don't have as many as possible, you're not doing it right, or you're just doing it for fun. Some people just do it for fun, but we like to do it to win money. I mean, this is how we pay our bills and save our money. Win.
Exactly.
So do everything you can. Don't just give them money. They got enough. AT back on the board, Quinn said, and AEOD says Propulation forever.
Okay, so let's break this down real fast. Because I see this is the biggest play right here. This is the biggest ooh and ah that people are going to be looking at right now. So she opened at 9-5 last night, and I knew she was going to be a huge favorite today. Obviously she was. She bumped up to 10 overnight, no problem. And now she's back down to 9.5. So for me personally, what I got to imagine is people are probably either off of her and betting on Brianna Jones, or there's some news that we're going to get here in the next, not even 45 minutes, something about a minute's limit or something for Brianna Jones. Like there's some news we're going to get that's going to say, hey, this is why line movement went the other way. I guarantee you.
Some Brianna Jones news?
Yeah, it has to be. I mean, she's the only reason that this would be impacted, because there's no way people are betting the under on Alyssa Thomas rebounds right now. I mean, she just had a triple-double against them, and I mean, her double-double upside is huge. So
right.
For me, I just can't believe that the field is betting the under on this right now. There's no way.
Yeah. Yep. Makes sense.
Oh, look at this. So they even pulled down the combo rebound. It's not even there anymore.
That was the one with Alyssa?
Plural. There was 3 of them, and they're all gone.
Huh.
Yeah, there was one with Nalissa Smith. It was at 17.5, I believe. And
yeah, it was.
Now I would guess it's probably going to come back at 17 flat. But there was one with her, I think one with Aaliyah Boston, and then somebody else. I don't remember.
Well, what's weird to me is that if it has to do with Brianna Jones, why didn't they remove Brianna Jones or bump her to 6 type of thing, Because if she gets minutes, she should get 6 rebounds.
It might be coming. I wouldn't be surprised, honestly.
That's the other thing too I love doing. When injuries like NECA and different things like that, if you have your sites up and ready with your money involved, you're ready to hit the button before they take it down. If NECA gets ruled out right now, bro, that Ezzy rebound at 8.5, I got it at 7.5 yesterday. That was so easy. Like those are the ways you profit Those are the real ways you profit. The slick tricks like that. I mean, you could be the best prop finder in the world, but you still got to be able to, finesse the sites. That's huge.
100%. You got to know what you're doing. Otherwise, you get caught in a foothold. And then when you think it's a good bet, it's maybe just an okay bet on that site. And then somewhere else, they're like, I don't know about that.
Mike says, Mike H says, can you break down Jonquel and Brianna points? And what's RB? I guess rebounds.
Yeah.
But that's when we get to that game, yeah?
Yeah, we'll get to that here in just a second. I was just going to hit on a couple metrics here for this last game. Or for the first game. Because I wanted to go back and take a look at the usage rating. I think is something we should just take a look at real fast before we go to that game. But yes, we will definitely touch on that. Okay, so the first game, remember this was also with Kelsey Mitchell coming off the bench, still limited minutes. I told you guys Caitlin Clark, she was rocking about a 40% usage rating, which is absolutely insane. That's unsustainable. Yeah, completely unsustainable. And now with Kelsey Mitchell in the mix, so this last game, we'll take a look at the usage rating. So she went down a whole, basically 10 points here right off the rip. She went to 29 and a half usage rating, which for me, I feel like that's still absurd. Like that's super high for, especially a rookie. But I mean, I get it. I get it. She's, Caitlin Clark and all that. But just keep that in mind. I mean, these are the primary three right here. It's gonna be Clark, Mitchell, and Alyssa Smith. Now, one thing to also kind of keep in mind: Alyssa Smith only played 21 minutes for no reason at all. There's no reason, and typically she's a pretty important piece in this matchup. So just keep that in mind. I know that we're not going to have Samuelson in the starting lineup anymore, or she shouldn't be. I don't know why she's a starter anymore, honestly. I mean,
that's mean.
She's so bad. I'm not even trying to be mean, dog. She is just...
If her mom is watching this right now, bro, I mean, she's going to probably be writing some comments, email something. It's fucked up, bro.
Bro, she got destroyed by Stewie. Like, I can't even believe the coach left her out there to get cooked like that. I mean, it's not even fair to her. She is just... She took an entire year off, with her baby. And not to say that she's not bad. I feel like the coach is putting her a little too far into the role right now where she's not really ready for.
So she's
good for 3-and-D.
You're sexist now too? You're sexist now too? The baby thing?
No.
Okay.
I think coach is using her wrong. She always puts her on like the toughest defensive assignment, and I just don't feel like she's ready. Like, not yet, at least. Hold on.
Stop pooping on the couch, dog.
No, dude, my dog's over there. He was scratching, and it sounded like somebody was outside beating on the wall with a hammer. I thought somebody was outside knocking.
Trying to come get you. Trying to come take your PrizePicks money from you. Hit withdraw! Hit withdraw! I want those coins.
But going back to this team here real fast. So, I mean, even just the first game back already, like Kelsey Mitchell already off the bat. These are pretty comparable numbers. I mean, her 3-point attempt, 8. Clark had 10. Total field goal volume. I mean, Kelsey Mitchell had 18. Clark had 17. So there's a pretty tight neck and neck right there. That's something we really got to pay attention to, because somebody's got to give here. Like, they can't just have two players running an entire offense. I mean, we literally just saw that last night with the Denver Nuggets. Two people did everything and they lost. I wonder why. So his teammates got to step it up. For me today, I think we see more production out of Alyssa Smith and a little less out of Boston. Maybe a little bit more on the glass, per se, for Smith here. Oh, they gave us the rebounds back. Here we go.
Ooh, it went down.
Yep, 17 flat. So this one, I feel pretty good now that they bumped it back down accordingly. This is definitely in play. You could consider Boston, but her history is kind of sketchy. Boston has good scoring upside, bad rebounds, and turnover upside, if you will.
She is so strange, Boston. Just, you never know, man. I haven't figured her out yet, because some games she can go crazy, and some games she disappears.
Yep, and it's unfortunate because it's going to be a thing. It's going to be our song and dance all year between Nalissa Smith and Boston. Who's going to be the hot hand? Are they going to play them in their adequate roles, or are they sticking them out on defense? You never know. I'll say one thing real fast before we moved on. If you were to play Nalissa Smith, if they did not bump it, nope. She actually went down. I believe she was 12-5, but I like this 11.5. I don't know why people are taking the under. She wrecks Connecticut typically. Like, she's got some really good history.
It's those minutes.
Good. It's only the minutes. That's all
Yeah.
we're playing tonight is based on these minutes, you know.
Mhm.
So know that before you get into it. Nalissa Smith and Brianna Jones, you're paying for minutes here. The production will be there. We're paying for minutes.
That's 100%. WNBA more than anything, minutes.
Yep. All right, man. Well, I guess let's hit on this last game, and then we'll get out of here shortly after that. Go build some cards. Try and make a little bit of walking around money today, hopefully.
Sounds good. Seattle at New York, huh?
Yeah, let's take a look at the team metrics real fast. So Seattle is going to be one of our favorite teams this season to target. I'm not going to say they're awful. They just haven't got it together yet. But defensively, they're pretty bad. They're second in pace. Right now, they're fifth in defense because they've had some pretty soft matchups. But let's take a look at metrics here real quick for them.
Let me stop you real quick and ask you a question. Sorry to switch up the thought
Sure.
process here, but
No,
Alex says, do you like Nalissa Smith PRA rival against Boston? I'm assuming it's an even back and forth. Sometimes they put points on either side, but would you take Smith over Boston PRA today?
Man, I was really feeling Nalissa Smith today. I don't know why. She's just one of my gut calls today. She always has a good bounce back game. They usually use her a lot better in this matchup, and I'm really, fingers crossed they do today. With all that being said, yes, I probably would. I think she has a higher ceiling than Boston.
I'm trying to look here. So they're giving Boston a 0.5 adjustment, so it's not too bad. So if you like Nalissa better, it's basically you're only going to lose if they tie. So, okay.
Yeah, it's really the minutes. You know, this last game, or the first game that they played, she only got 3 fouls, and I want to say last year she was in massive foul trouble. Yeah. See, this is a little bit more what I'm expecting to see. You know, the 6-4-4. The minutes a little closer to 30, not over 30 like she was this first time. You know, she played right at 29, and I think this is closer to what she should look like today. But 33 minutes, she ain't gonna do that every game. That I know for sure.
Right. And Dangerous says Boston from Indiana and Jonquel Jones from New York are the two most inconsistent players you will ever meet. I agree with the Boston, but you know, she is a rookie from last year, so we might see that change throughout the year. And then Jonquel we know she was coming back from injury, so she might ball all year. We'll see.
Yeah, you know, I'm really hoping so. JJ, I mean, that first game when she played the entire first quarter and was balling out, you know, that looked pretty good. So,
But actually, what he was saying kind of made sense with that second game, though, huh? She came in the second game. Was she getting foul trouble? I forget what happened for JJ in the second game.
she just didn't do anything. Like, she just didn't take any field goal attempts and just kind of chilled the first half and just let Stewie do everything.
That's right. Stewie went crazy. Okay. So we'll see how JJ does. Anyway, sorry to get you off track there.
No, not at all. Not at all. Oh yeah, this is where we were. So Seattle, super fast-paced team. I mean, they're running up and down the court like crazy. I think that this team, I mean, they should be able to have some pretty good cardio. Like, a lot of these are great runner, phenomenal turnaround defense. And New York, I think, is a decent pace too. Yeah, they're seventh, kind of middle, a little ladder into the pack, but still, you know, middle of the pack area. They're just a bunch of older players, so I would expect the pace to, you know, always be kind of middle of the pack anyways. What was I going to go to here real fast? Oh yeah, he wanted to hit on Stewie and JJ. So let's take a look at them real fast. We'll talk about JJ first, actually, because I think she's the easiest one to either get on board with or just fade outright. You know, I don't think there's any kind of middle ground with that. Either you're feeling her for the day or just don't play her at all.
The thing with
So,
JJ
take a
is
look.
when her lines are low is when you attack JJ. When her lines and she's had a few good games in a row, that's when you got to pass.
Yeah, exactly. Because I mean, her floor, you know, or her ceiling upside, I think is pretty good. She's good for 35, 40 fantasy on any given night. But now, I mean, she started in the season really good. PrizePicks is pretty notorious about aggressively bumping these lines, so I feel like we kind of got her at a discount this morning. I know we had looked at her. Oh, she got bumped twice, actually. So she opened at 16.5 for her first half fantasy, and it's all the way up to 17.5 now.
Actually, now that you showed those 3 games, the second game she had a good second half. It was just the first half she was disappeared. But overall, she's had 3 good games.
Yeah, and I mean, personally, I like whenever JJ's on, I love playing her. I mean, she does everything. She's a stock getter, rebounder. She shoots from 3. She's been setting the offense more lately too. Take a look at these assists. I mean, this ain't no slouch. 5 and 4 assists for a center who typically doesn't play make. That's very appealing for fantasy upside.
And the big thing with her now is the minutes, bro. She's getting those minutes. I know only 25 last game, but that was probably because they were whipping Indiana at the end. So she's she's on the court so much more than she was last year.
She is, and we'll look at actually this first half real fast here. And let's see. So she played 14 minutes, but I mean, like, dude, just look at the numbers she's put up in the first half right now. I mean, 4 field goal attempts, a little left to be desired on there, but I mean, she still went 100% from the field. She shot 2 threes. I mean, 10 points, 6 rebounds, and 4 assists in just the first half. I mean, these for first half, that's insane, right?
Oh yeah. No, she's doing big things this year so far. She had a bad half, I think, is all. So ever she's had what is that? 1, 2, 3, 12 quarters so far. I think she's probably 10 of 12 quarters balling. Big 2 has a good play here. AT Clark PRA rival. AT over Clark PRA. We know how Clark could ball, but at the same time Clark could fall off the face of the earth today, and we know AT is going to ball. She's always going to do that. So I like that look.
Oh yeah. No, for me personally, until Clark shows us otherwise, I am 100% on board for attacking anything in our advantage like that. The rivals, that was another play we actually had today. Now that we're thinking about it, we had Caitlin Clark, her first half fantasy. It opened at 17.5, and we locked that in. But dude, she hasn't hit the 17.5 once this regular season so far, and I mean, it was the first game of the season, but she couldn't even get 7 fantasy. And her biggest problem for me, it's not even the scoring, it's not the anything offensive wise, it's the turnovers. I mean, she's averaging like 4 turnovers a half, and I mean,
yeah,
this career of 11 turnovers for rookie debut. So obviously, I'm not expecting the same thing here, but until she's turning over less than like 4 or 5 times a game, I mean, dude, that's a huge ask on top of needing her to actually score the ball.
For real. Big Sean's in the house. Big Sean says Clark and Sab 3-point combo. I assume that's Sabrina, right? What is that at 7.5?
Always.
Yeah. I don't know. I hate betting on threes, but
yeah, for me, I don't know what to do with that. I don't know what to do with my hands. If you get that movie reference,
Coach does.
I'm probably leaning more towards the under, honestly. But Sabrina's a little dangerous. Sabrina, for sure, she's got some history. I know this is a different team this year, but she's got some nasty history against Seattle. I mean, these are some scary fantasy numbers here. The scoring maybe kind of, if you wanted to take take away from the scoring, I mean, it's kind of all over the place. She's either making 6 3-pointers or she's making 2 or 3. So that I don't know, honestly. But actually, he brought that up. One that we were kind of talking about earlier. This under is very, very appealing. I know Clark, she hit 4 threes in that first game, but one, that's not going to happen again. I don't foresee her doing that again. And two, Bonner, she's just totally fine not even shooting threes this year. She's like, whatever. If she's feeling it, maybe. But against Indiana, her sweet spot was getting right there in that midi and free throw attempts. She's not trying to shoot it from 3. You got other players for that.
I just can't bet against Clark's threes right now, but I'd make the bet and then just close my eyes and forget I made the bet because I don't want to cheer against that. I'd be mad when she swishes the next 3. I'd be like, no, why did I bet that? But that's just me.
Ray, I'm right there with you. I don't want to keep poking the bear, and I'm not saying load up a bunch of cards with Clark tonight or the Clark's under or whatever, but she's got to show us first, but don't poke the bear. It's too much.
Hey, speaking of,
definitely try to put that caution out there.
Yeah. Speaking of, though, CJ says it's sweaty, but he likes Clark's boards under, which is right on with what we were saying there, taking it under. Mm-hmm. Her boards, though, interesting. Different look.
Yeah, it's rebounding for a guard. It is what it is. I know the first game is going to look great. Obviously, she had 0, but that was... It was a different offense. Just keep that in mind. They're on a totally different offense now. But I do like that. The juice was definitely on the under today, and I'm kind of surprised this is still up. Oh, yeah. We're getting off track here. We were talking about the other game.
We're going all over the place. It's fine.
Nah. Yeah. I see Big Quinn getting us right back on track. Let's see. Seattle on the back-to-back with travel. New York, extra day of rest advantage. Yep. And, no, I like that call, actually. This is our first back-to-back of the season. Going to be interesting how Seattle is going to play this. I will put this caution out there, though. So there is definitely something to think about, and this could work out a little better for our live betting, especially for the second half stuff. These two teams, they played the most games so far, really, in the league, and they played a lot of games here in this first week since, opening day, essentially. So not only Seattle on the back-to-back, both teams playing a ton and traveling a bunch. I think this could be a genuine game where we could see the starters sit late into the game. And just keep that in mind for full game props. I know some people are going to be on some stuff, posting this and this, but just if there was a game I'm a little bit worried about staying close, this is definitely one. Seattle has not played good defense at all. And I think New York, they have been playing okay, and they're due for just an absolute slaughter game. They are due to just blow somebody out. So just keep that in mind.
Big 2 says, book plays, totals, and spreads? ? You were on the... yeah, go ahead, that under.
Yeah, man. We I don't know if you caught that earlier. We were actually talking about at least his first game for sure, with Indiana being number 11 in pace and Connecticut's number 12. This one's definitely appealing. I would probably consider this one as well, but man, I'm honestly almost I'm getting tongue-tied apparently, but I'm almost tempted to see. Yeah, they do have the first half. One of this under right here actually might be a little bit more appealing. Seattle, they've come out so flat, and I mean, it's like they flash in the pan in the first quarter, and in the second quarter, this team just loses their mind. They don't know what is going on.
I'm interested to see if NECA plays here because Seattle's a fun team. Even if she's not in there, I gotta go actually queue up my Ezzy rebounds in case NECA's out again.
Yeah, I know NECA. She was at practice today. I saw her 100% confirmed. I know she's there. I don't know how that ankle's holding up, but she was at least at practice today, which is an upgrade from the day before.
They have a picture of her on Underdog pinned up right now, talking about her being game time. She is swole. Her arms are big. I did not know that. This picture right here making her look like she'll whoop Jake Paul.
Yeah, she's pretty stout, and that's always been kind of one of her strong suits is that power forward. She's great slasher. She can back you down, and she can play at that stand-in 5. When the time calls for it too. So very, very versatile threat for this team.
Oh yeah.
And being second in the offensive usage is, I think, a must in this team. I mean, the other people that they have stand-ins are just so bad. It's not even funny. So we'll take a look at this last game, and let me show you the usage. Some of these, I mean, they just don't do anything. Like Mercedes Russell, the first one that I was looking for. Oh my God. She's a starter role, played huge minutes. I mean, you might as well say single-digit offensive usage. A lot of this was actually coming off of some offensive rebounds and putbacks. So I think she got 2, if I'm not mistaken, 1 for sure. But I mean, you take away that 1, you're almost talking like single-digit offensive usage. So that's what we traded NECA for. And no, that's awful. We don't want that. I hope NECA plays. If NECA plays, this game can actually stay close. If she's out, this is going to be just an absolute blowout.
Yeah. That's the fun thing about betting WNBA, that sometimes the matchups are just so one-sided. It's pretty easy to find the ways to make money, because bookies don't pay attention enough. But maybe they will now that Caitlin Clark's around. We'll see.
Yeah, we will definitely see. It's young and early in the season. I'm fully expecting there's a lot more to come. With the props and what have you. PrizePicks especially, we will get those secondary props at some point. Like we're gonna get free throws, we're gonna get stocks, we're gonna get I'm hoping turnovers. Those were our favorites.
Those are your favorites. Don't lie. Free
They're
throws and
awesome.
turnovers.
You can always target matchups. They're so fun.
Oh no, you find them. You definitely do.
So one last thing that we're going to talk about here real fast before we head out. He was asking about Breonna Stewart as well. I like Stewart today. I definitely like her. I think that honestly her best prop is probably just going to be continuing that fantasy. Just hope she's filling up the stat sheet all around. I get the feeling we're going to see her get on the glass a little bit more today, and I'm praying, like I said, if NECA plays, she's going to be guarding NECA most of the game already, and that's going to give us great rebound upside, because NECA really doesn't have a three-point shot, and that's going to give her phenomenal stock upside. So,
Big Sean says, quick question, Stewie's threes. Sorry to cut you. He's wondering about her threes.
I can't do it, man. Me personally, if she gets there, she gets there, but this volume, three threes a game. I mean, she had 1 the first game. That's alarming. But 3 in the previous 2 games. I mean, if you look at the offense as a whole, they don't need her to shoot from 3. There's no reason. I mean, they have Vandersloot. They have, I mean, not even Vandersloot. She doesn't even have to do it. Honestly, just Lainey and JJ, and then Sabrina. I mean, those are your true kind of 3-point threats. And then you just sprinkle in everyone else. They don't need Stewie to do it right now, and I think until Stewie actually has to try, I probably wouldn't target that prop in particular, because she's going to try and get to the free throw line a whole lot today, I think.
That's a good point. In a game that's one-sided and they should be up, she's probably not going to look at threes, I would think.
Yeah, let's look real fast, because that actually has my curiosity peaked just for a minute. The opponent stats, and you can find all this stuff totally online. It's all free. It's WNBA.com. You just go to their stats, do the drop down. You can do regular opponent, yada yada yada. It's all free. It's all right there for you. But 3 points. If we take a look at here, I know Seattle, they were up there. Yeah, number 3. It's kind of a 3-way tie between second place and all the way out to 4th. So they are giving up threes. It's the volume, man. Three threes per game attempted. You're asking for what, over 60-something% shooting from the field. She got it last game, but I mean, is she really going to go 2 or 3 again?
Yeah, I just hate sitting there and cheering for that, you know? Oh, I hope she shoots a 3. Oh, I'm only going to win if she hits a 3. Oh, get back over there. No, dang it, she made it 2. Oh, that's not fun to bet like that. That's just me, though. Sorry, Big Sean, love you.
It's a great question first off, and then it's a great thing to just kind of break down too, because if you go here as well, you can look at the 3-point attempt volume. So, I mean, Stewie's all the way down. We're talking bench players are being set up in the offense before her for this. So you can go right here and look at like the 3-point attempt percentage and see that, you know, Stewart, she's almost single digit attempts in the offense currently. And this is, you know, just this last game here, but as an example to show you, you know, recently they're not dialing up plays for her like that. I mean, it's all Sabrina, it's all don't remember how to pronounce that name, but I mean, these are guards, you know, expected 3-point shooters. And then, I mean, go all the way down here for like, even Laney's not even drifting out to the 3-point line. So it's something to think about, you know, definitely keep an eye on this. I don't think that New York really as a whole is even shooting that many threes. They don't need to, you know. With all that being said, though, if you're going to play Big Breezy, I think that probably her best... Did she get pulled? Or am I just tripping? Oh, I'm tripping. Just take the fantasy. You know, it's a little high, 44. I think it was 41 and a half. I think I bumped up 42 last game right before locks. But if she's doing her thing, she's doing her thing. You're either getting way over or you're getting way under.
Gotta hope the game stays close too, right? That's the only downfall.
Yeah, for sure.
What's the first half fantasy, if you don't mind clicking on it to see? Is it playable? It's a half. You like the full game better?
It's okay.
The full game just scares me with that spread though. But they kind of play all the way anyways. Even if they're up 20, they play them. But you did say earlier in the Discord, I will say, now that it's back to back, they might pull her a little faster than normal.
That is a risk. That is something we all need to consider. The first half is all right. I mean, she's just... My biggest thing is you're banking on the stocks. I mean, she's been kind of hit or miss on that in the first half, but she's scoring a bunch. I mean, I think if you think she's feeling herself, the points straight up is probably the best like value. But I don't know, man. I'm just kind of fading Stewart a little bit here recently, and
I feel you. Her lines are just a little high to try to put money on like that.
Really, honestly.
Yeah. I mean, she could do it, but those aren't the value bets. I know we had her play in the Discord, a couple days ago when she was low off that first bad game. And then her lines were a little low in that second game. That made sense. But now that she's balled out again, she's way back up to probably best to pass.
Yeah, they moved a lot of the individual stuff, except for the threes. This is just, for me, it's a trap play. You know, they got people in the last couple games. I mean, she only got over this here recent game. But they moved the points up. She was at 20, moved to 21. And then I think she was 21 and a half before the actual locks. The rebounds are the same, which, me personally, I think she steps it up today on the glass. But yeah, I mean, you're paying up for her, though. She's a primo player. She's one of the top 2 players in the league. So you're paying a price for it.
Right.
I think, though, with all that being said, that's about all I got for today, man. How you feeling?
Good, man. Good. We're getting into it now. We're getting to see the teams a couple times and see how they're going to do. And I'm always interested to see how Caitlin Clark's going to do. It's just fun to see all this hype and see how it plays out. So as far as the plays, I mean, found some great ones last night, which is always the thing, right? The Discord plays are really the money makers, and also the live plays while the games are going. Like, we sit in the Discord and watch the games and find the discrepancies in the second half plays and the live plays. Big Two's always in there, you know, finding some good plays. And I mean, that's where the money is. So at this time when we're streaming, it's kind of like, it's cool to go over all the stuff. People can find a few plays that are left, but the money is made in the Discord.
100%. Yeah, man. That is pure factual. We, as soon as the board drops at night, we try our best to comb through everything, find any kind of discrepancies like we did yesterday, find any kind of outstanding value. And like I talked about last time on the stream, and we actually snagged a piece of it in the Discord too, the Phoenix money line and the spread for that game. I know it came down to the wire, but still, the books are not caught up on stuff right now. The lines and stuff are very wrong. I guarantee you, if we go to pull up a couple things right now, they're probably still not even correct. There's a lot of should be negative, some kind of juice or something in favor of it, and they're just like outright plus money, like completely wrong. So the bookies are not caught up yet. It's still the wild west of it. So we've been chopping it up. Like I said, we hit a 10x in the Discord on Saturday, and I think today, don't get the expectations too high, because we do have a turnaround game and we got a back-to-back, with that whole situation. But tomorrow, make sure you guys are back for that. We got probably one of the best 3-game slates that we're going to have for a little bit here. 3 amazing games too, and I can't wait to break all that down.
I get the sense that you treat WNBA kind of like Christmas time. You get really excited. You know that, right?
I love WNBA, man. It's been so good to us, and I know this last year PrizePicks made a little bit of bunk decisions on us. They gave us and took away a few things, but early on in the season, this is definitely where the money's made.
Yeah, and now that Caitlin Clark's here and all these sites got WNBA, man, there's money to be made. We're already ahead by a couple years, so come on in the Discord. Let's win some money.
Well, you guys can see we got about an hour up until locks now, so Underrated and I are going to hop off. We're going to go chop it up in the Discord, and I think we're going to call it a day after that.
Sounds good, man. Let's go get it. We got 1 hour.
1 hour. Well, hey, Propulation, YouTube, we appreciate everybody. Make sure like and subscribe down below. Any questions, comments, throw them down there as well. Those are always free. And speaking of free, check out that free 7-day trial for our Patreon. Links for all that down below. Appreciate you guys, and we'll see you back here tomorrow, all right?